What's up, y'all? Welcome to The Void of Thought. I'm Reggie Dixon, and in today's video, you're going to learn how to meditate and how to enter your own void so that you can become your higher self. It's time to go deep, so let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my own experiences with meditation and going into my own void. I'm going to share how I do it. I'm going to share what it's like for me personally. And then after that, I'm going to break it down into 9 steps so that you can do it too, so that you can do the same thing but in your own unique way. So let's get into it. So the first thing that I do is I just lay down on my bed, on top of the covers, not underneath the covers, because I noticed that for me, being underneath the covers, it's kind of like a subconscious signal that I'm going to sleep. So if I stay on top of the covers, then it's like mentally, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna meditate. So spiritually and mentally, I'm getting into that space of meditation. And so I lay on top of the covers, just close my eyes, just flat on my back. Close my eyes and just breathe. Focus on my breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. So what I like to do is I like to have a breathing pattern that's similar to how I breathe while I'm asleep. The reason why I know this is because every time before I go to sleep, I get into the same breathing pattern every single night. And that breathing pattern is what allows me to enter into that space where I'm easily able to fall asleep. And so this is the first crucial step for me in going deep into myself and going into my void. So I focus on my breathing, and then I feel into my body. So as I'm feeling into my body, I'm letting my mind be free. Be free to have any kind of thoughts that flow to it. I mean, it's to me, my thoughts are like water. They come and they go, they come and they go. So I'm not focusing on any specific thought. I'm just letting them be. And we'll talk about this later, but if I have any specific thought or feeling that keeps coming up, that's persistently there, that's when I'll focus on it and dive into that and figure out what it has to teach me. If it's an issue, what I have to learn from it, or if it's a good thing, what do I have to learn from it? Anything, no matter what it is, I love learning from whatever comes up within me, whether they're inner demons or positive experiences. I learn, understand them by getting to the roots, and then from getting to the roots, I'm able to understand how to either overcome the issue or how to benefit from whatever it is. So, getting into my meditative state, focusing on my breathing, having that same fluid breathing pattern, and then I begin to feel into my body, feel into my physical body. You know, I really take time to notice and feel how I'm not my body. So when I'm in these meditations, I feel that I am me, like I as spirit am me, and then I'm within this body. So my body doesn't feel like it's literally me. It doesn't feel like it's really me at all. If anything, it feels like it's an extension of me. It's just a creation of my own consciousness, so my own conscious creation. So it's kind of like when you get in your car and you're driving, you know you're not your car, but you're inside it and you're operating it and you're driving, you're steering it as if it is an extension of you. So that's what my body feels like, and that's what I notice every time I get into that meditative state. After I start feeling to my body, I start feeling how I'm not my body, then that's when I start to see colors like swirling around in my mind with my eyes closed. Usually for me, I'll see like green, like everything will be black, especially if you're meditating in a black room, in a dark room, everything will be black with my eyes closed. And then I'll begin to see like little swirls of green, swirls of red, yellow here and there, some blue, purple. Like it's just like what I feel that it is, what I think that it is that it's my pineal gland being active. And so your pineal gland, your third eye, aka, is very crucial in meditation and just your spiritual practices in general. So for me, I feel like that's when it becomes active. That's when it becomes like open in a sense. And so that's when I'm able to start entering my own void. So when I see those types of colors, that's when I know, okay, I'm right here. I'm about to enter my void. And so basically what the void is it's your subconscious mind. It's the internal space within you where your higher self resides. And it's where you can tap into anything that you want. It's your all-knowing state. It's your space of being all-knowing, aka your God state, your Godhead, your God form, whatever you want to call it, it's that. So once I know that I'm about to enter, I just be in that moment, stay being still, and just observe whatever comes to me. Sometimes I get messages from other spirits, I hear voices sometimes I'll be able to astral project, or sometimes I'll just literally sit with my higher self and be my higher self, merge with my subconscious mind, merge with my higher self, and become it. And then from then on out, anything is possible. I can develop new abilities, I can have channel in new ideas, and that's a big thing too, channeling. That's a big reason why I'm a pretty good channeler, because I get into that void, I get into my own void, and I'm able to channel whatever I need to intuitively hear. So whatever I need to hear comes from my intuition tells me, and then that's that. So channeling, astral projection, merging with your higher self, becoming conscious within your subconscious mind, and many, many, many more things. It's all possible by just being in your own void. So now that that's out the way, it's time to break it down. So let's get to it. So step number 1, focus your attention on yourself and just be in that moment. Just focus on yourself and be in the moment. Don't focus on anything else. Don't focus on, don't focus on what's about to happen. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus on past or future. Just be present in the very moment. Like so many times we'll have like just random thoughts come to us, and then we'll start focusing on that thought, and then that takes us out of the meditative state. So don't do that. Do not do that. Just focus on yourself in that very moment and just be. So now, step 2, allow your mind to be free. Allow any thoughts that come to you to just flow in and flow out. Do not focus on them. Just be in that moment. Be still in that moment. Focus on yourself and just allow your mind to be free, because that'll set up the rest of the steps that we're about to explain right now. So step number 3 is to find a calm, nice, easy, smooth breathing pattern. So this is where that flow, that rhythm comes into meditation. It's your breathing. You're breathing life into your body, and you're breathing life out into the universe. So when you find that nice, smooth pattern that feels comfortable for you, that's when you're able to really be still within yourself. That's when it's so much easier to just tune out your mind, just not focus on that, and just be in that very moment. Be yourself in that very moment. So one tip with your breathing is to analyze how you start to breathe before you fall asleep at night. And this goes on to another subject with like lucid dreaming and stuff, but because truthfully, this practice would help with lucid dreaming as well. But analyze yourself before you go to sleep. Analyze and figure out and observe how your breathing changes and usually eases up at night when you're about to fall asleep. When you have that inner knowing of your breath, of your breathing before you go to sleep, take that and utilize it in your meditation. Use that same breathing pattern when you're meditating, because you'll see that it helps you get into that deep, deep state. And step number 4, be the observer. So know that you're not the victim of your thoughts. You're not a victim of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, or anything. And you are not your thoughts, feelings, your emotions. You are you. You're not them. They're separate. They're things that you feel, things that you experience, but they're separate from you. They're not you. So knowing that you're not your thoughts, feelings, or emotions, just observe them. Observe them as they come up within you. Sometimes you may feel like something from years ago come up within you that you haven't addressed yet. That's when it's time to focus on that. If it's persistent enough, that's when it's time to focus on that and get to the root of that. But during this step, just focus on being the observer, because we'll get more into that in the next step, in step 5. But just be the observer. Be the observer. That's it. And then step number 5, what I just brought up. If any thoughts, feelings, or emotions keep coming up, if they persistently keep coming up, that's when it's time to focus on them. That's when it's time to get into them, question them. Still stay in that observer state. Do not react to any of these. Stay in the observer state and just question them. It's like, say, like sometimes I have a thought of like, See, I'm not doing enough throughout the day. I have that anxious feeling. When I'm meditating, I just question it. I feel like, okay, so why am I feeling anxious right now? And I just sit with that feeling. Sit with that feeling. Because sitting with the feeling is key to getting to the root of it. So once you sit with your feeling, you familiarize yourself with it, and then ask the question, why am I feeling this? Why am I experiencing this? And then usually, either your intuition or your subconscious mind will lead you to the answer. And then once you find the answer, that's usually the root. I mean, sometimes the rabbit holes where one answer could lead to another question, and just continuously. But usually, it leads you to the root, and just try your best to always get to the root no matter what. Because understanding the root will help you understand how to overcome whatever it is you're experiencing. So do that, and I call that being more in the shallow meditation, because you're not going deep into your subconscious, you're not going deep into your void. You're staying within your conscious mind and noticing what's coming up within you, and then you're just analyzing it, observing it, figuring out how to get to its root, and then overcoming it. Moving on to the next step, step 6, it's just be still within yourself. This is when you start going deep. When you keep breathing, keep being the observer, and feeling into your body, this is when you become really still. You just become comfortable sitting within yourself. So now this is when you breathe in, keep breathing, and just notice how you feel within your body. Notice that your body isn't you. You can feel into your body. You can also feel the connection between you and your body. You realize what you really are during meditation, which is just spirit. So knowing that you are spirit and you're not your body, you can feel that your body, like the car, like driving your car, the example that I gave earlier, you notice that you're not your body. You notice that your body is just an extension of yourself. It's like a tool that you use. It's really, literally your vehicle that you utilize in order to experience this dimension. So feel into that. That's when you really detach from your body, and that's when you're able to begin to step into your void. So step number 7. So by this point, you might begin to start seeing the colors that I spoke about earlier. You might start to see like green, blue, red, yellow, purple, whatever it may be. Everybody's different. I don't know how it is for everybody else. I just know how it is for me. When you start experiencing that, that's how you know that you're entering your void, aka your subconscious mind. So step number 8 is just continue doing that. Continue doing everything that you're doing. Breathing, feeling, and just being the observer. Do not react to anything. Do not react to anything. I'll say that one more time. Do not react to anything at all. Only be the observer. Because when you react to things, that's when it takes you out of the observer state. That's when it takes you away from being the observer. That's when you start to become wrapped up within the experiences. And by doing that, you take yourself out of the state of being still. You take yourself out of that still space, that peaceful bliss that you're just in. And so instead of reacting to things, just continue to be the observer. This is how you keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper into your void and into your subconscious mind. So now I just want to say congratulations to you for making it this far, because you're now on step 9, and in step 9, you are now in the void. So the difference between step 8 and step 9 is that usually if you go this deep into your void, this deep into your subconscious mind, you just end up falling asleep. I know plenty of people that try meditating and they just end up falling asleep. It's happened to me plenty of times too when I was just first starting out practicing this, and sometimes it still happens because I'm still practicing it to this day. I'm still mastering it as my craft. And so step 9, when you're in the void and you're conscious, that's when you're there. That's when you're getting the full benefits of being in the void and just the full benefits of meditation in general, as a whole. So when you're conscious within your own void, that's when miracles happen. That's when everything, like reality, dreams, like lucid dreaming, astral projection, and this reality, they all kind of merge into one. Because I noticed that when I'm in this reality, and then when I get into my void and I start experiencing different things, they don't feel any different. I mean, if anything, those experiences that I experience, that I go through when I meditate and go deep in meditation, those feel more real than this reality right here. Because like, you could say that life is just a dream. That's true. I mean, everything can be a dream. And if you say everything is real, that's also true. If you say everything is fake, I mean, that's also true. So it all just matters of perspective. But to me, everything is everything. Everything is the same. I mean, everything is different in their own way, but they have the same source. So as long as you keep breathing, just keep sitting in that space of stillness, being in that state of bliss, and just keep being the observer, that's when you'll start to experience different things, like hearing voices. You know, you might astral project, you might communicate with your spirit guides, you can merge with the higher self, learn how to do that. And literally how to do that is you just sit in that space, because in that space, you're all knowing. You know, you may not be conscious of it in that moment, but once you're tapped into that space and you're living from that space, that's when you really are all knowing. I mean, the only thing that stops us from being all-knowing in the conscious realm, this reality that we're in right now, is usually our ego and what we think we know or what we think we don't know. Usually, we intuitively know at least a little bit of everything, because we can tap into everything, and it won't be first-hand knowledge, but it's knowledge that we have from tapping into whatever it is that we're tapping into, and then streaming that as a channel, becoming a channel, and really streaming that into this reality. So you might also call merging with your higher self just merging your conscious mind with your subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind literally takes in everything. It's like a sponge. We've all heard this before. The subconscious mind is like a sponge. Whatever you see, hear, feel, experience, that's being drawn into your subconscious mind, and it's just sitting there forever. So if we become conscious within our subconscious mind, again, that's that all-knowing state. Because if we absorb everything, all information around us, then all we have to do is just tap into it in order to know it. That's it. And that's being in your void. That's entering your void, entering your subconscious mind, and being conscious while doing it, so that you're able to extract any bit of information, any bit of knowledge, any bit of wisdom that you need in order to utilize it for your benefit or the benefit of somebody else. And really, I just barely scratched the surface of what's possible, because literally anything is possible. Anything is possible without a doubt. There's no limits at all. So I mean, astral projection, spirit guides, communicating with other spirits, guardian angels, talking to your ancestors. You know, there's so much more. There's so much more, and like really, there's more than we can even consciously imagine. Because imagination is real too. I mean, that could be a whole nother subject, but anything that we can imagine, it's either been created or it's about to be created. So anything that we imagine is real. And so those are the 9 steps, and I want to say congratulations again, because all you have to do now is just keep practicing it, just hone your skills with it. When you get the hang of it, that's when you'll be able to really live from this space consciously in just everyday life. And that's when you're living in the state of meditation. And that's when, like for me as a basketball player, when I'm playing basketball and I tap into that, that's when I'm at my best. And just that's the same with everything in life in general. No matter what you're doing, whether it's playing sports, you're working a job, you're creating something for yourself, being creative in general, anything, taking care of your kids, taking care of your spouse, whatever it is. When you tap into that space, that all-knowing space, your void, and you become your higher self, that's when your life really takes that next step, because you're taking that next step. You're becoming, you're evolving. You know, your evolution is progressing faster and faster and faster the more you enter that state. The more you consciously live in that state, man, and when I say miracles happen, miracles really happen. So just keep practicing that, and keep practicing living from that space every day. So practice this when you wake up. You know, when I wake up, I like to reflect on my dreams, see what I need to learn from them, and then apply that to myself in whichever way I see fit. And then after that, I meditate and just get my mind right for the day. You know, I enter my void, and then I see if I have any intuitive messages for me, if my spirit guides need to connect with me, or if anything at all. I meditate into that void, and then what I take from that void is what I utilize for the rest of the day. So I urge you guys to do that, and just meditate as much as you can throughout the day, because, you know, for me personally, I've learned more in meditation than I've learned in doing anything else in my life. It's like all my years in school, with like 15 plus years of school, whatever it was, 15 to 18 or whatever, I've learned less in school, way less in school than I had in meditation, because in meditation is when I unlearned everything from school. You know, school is just programming. I mean, some things useful like math, you know, literature, English and everything. All that stuff is beneficial for us, but there's so much, like, it's like there's only 10% useful information, and the 90% of the other information you learn from school is just useless. You'd never use it. And so what I did during meditation, especially when I first started my spiritual awakening, is I unlearned all that stuff. And then during meditation, I got right with myself and learned real truth from within myself. Because it's within every one of us. Real truth, our own truth, is within all of us. And that's what going in the void, going into your subconscious mind, that's when it's really beneficial. That's when you really start to learn that and utilize it for yourself. So again, I just urge you guys to practice meditation as much as possible throughout the day. Before you go to sleep, when you wake up, at least once throughout the day. You know, it's a new skill that you develop. So keep developing it, keep practicing it, and you'll see where it takes you. You'll see how much you evolve. You'll see how much you progress. You'll see how much you grow. So just keep doing it, and don't take yourself lightly. Take yourself seriously, but have fun with it. So that's gonna end today's video. I just wanna say, I love y'all. Peace out, keep growing, keep loving yourself, especially. Keep loving yourself. Keep growing, keep evolving, keep progressing, keep improving on anything that you're doing, and just be your best self. You're becoming, but you're also being. So be your best self. Peace out. Love y'all.